Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results in your neighborhood now at 6 a.m.
Now on News 6 Mornings, the mother of a child charged in a shooting bonding out of jail hours ago. We're live with charges she's facing weeks after the violence at a youth football practice.
Plus, the president's son facing more criminal charges. The new indictment linking Hunter Biden to possible tax evasion.
And investing in the future of transportation. All new this morning, the big project in Florida set to get a boost from the federal government. First, though, temperatures warming up just in time for the weekend. Good morning on your Friday to 6 a.m. I'm Crystal Moyer.
I'm Julie Broughton. Bridget is off today. Meteorologist Michelle Morgan is here, and for Trooper Steve watching the roads, meteorologist Candace Campos has your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Did anybody turn on the heater during this cold snap?
I did yesterday. Just
I thought about it, but I didn't.
Okay. I was in shorts. I love this one.
See, there you go. It's a mixed bag. But you know what? You'll be turning on the AC as we head into the weekend, as temperatures will be right back into the 80s, both Saturday and Sunday. But as you make your holiday festivity plans this weekend, be aware, rain is very likely as we head into your Sunday. So out the door information, no rain really to contend with early this morning. There will be the possibility of a few spotty showers today as we have a return flow off the ocean, helping warm us up as well as bring back some cloud cover and a slight chance of rain. But by Sunday, that's the approach of our next cold front that will be bringing more of a widespread threat for rain, up to about a 50 to 60% come Sunday afternoon. But once that clears, another blast of cold air where you'll have to decide whether or not to turn the heater on. That's always the big question, right? Satellite and radar composite, we are looking mainly dry, but you see a lot of cloud cover overhead. That's going to be acting like a blanket this morning, which is why temperatures are still in the 50s all across central Florida. Now, we are getting close to those 40s for you guys in Flagler County and Palm Coast. We're at 52 in Ocala, 53 in Leesburg, 57 from Orlando down through Kissimmee. And temperatures will be bouncing right back into the upper 70s as we progress later on this afternoon. We'll be talking more of your full weekend outlook coming up in just a few minutes. Now, let's check on those roadways with meteorologist Michelle Morgan. She has your pinpoint traffic brought to you by Napleton Automotive.
Thanks so much, Candace. Really not a whole lot going on this morning, thank goodness. If you are heading out on the 408, this is near Mills Avenue. Everything is moving along pretty good at the moment. Not a whole lot of people out and about. So the traffic flow moving along smoothly. And as we take a look at the traffic flow here, if you are heading into the metro area, I'm not tracking any major crashes to hold you up, a few minor ones, but thankfully there are no lane closures across central Florida. Now, your drive times here looking fantastic. We are still in the green. If you are heading I-4 eastbound from Osceola Parkway to Colonial Drive, it'll take you about 18 minutes. Now, westbound on I-4 from Lake Mary Boulevard to Colonial Drive looking pretty good too. It'll take you about 14 minutes.
Michelle, thanks. New from overnight, a mom facing charges 2 months after this violent scene at a Pop Warner football practice in Apopka has bonded out of jail. We first told you last night about the arrest of Sherelle Johnson. Investigators say her 11-year-old son used her gun to shoot 2 teens during a fight over a bag of chips. The shooting happened back in October at the Northwest Recreation Complex east of State Road 429. Ezzy Castro is live this morning, and Ezzy, investigators say that gun was left in the back of a car.
Well, Julia, Apopka police actually released surveillance video of this incident in October, which shows the child running to his mother's car, opening the passenger seat where he found the gun inside a cardboard box, which investigators say was just simply easy to grab. And during this whole situation, Chief Mike McKinley actually stressed about keeping weapons safe and away from children. He's actually thanking the state attorney's office for filing charges against the mother. We're going to have that statement coming up at 6:30. For now, live in Orlando, Ezzy Castro, getting results, News 6.
Ezzy, thanks. New this morning, President Biden's son Hunter facing another round of criminal charges in a federal investigation. A grand jury in California indicted Hunter Biden on 3 felonies and 6 misdemeanors. Prosecutors say he evaded more than $1 million in taxes on money he made working for foreign companies. If convicted, he could face up to 17 years in prison. Biden already faces charges for allegedly lying about his drug use on a federal gun form and to a gun dealer when he bought a revolver in 2018. His attorney released a statement last night denying any wrongdoing. New this morning, the White House announcing a major investment in rail projects across the country, and part of that $8 billion package is coming to Florida, including money to expand service through our area. Mark Lehman is live at Orlando International Airport's Brightline station, and Mark, that could serve as a critical connecting point in the coming years.
Yes, and the focus for decades has been to link major cities across the state. This station here in Orlando, linking Orlando to South Florida, was one of the first steps. And as for what's next, that's where the federal funding comes into play. This map showing plans to connect Jacksonville to Orlando and Orlando over to Tampa. And back here at the Orlando Brightline station, when it comes to the possible plans creating a connection to Tampa, a timetable has not yet been set. Tampa's mayor last month said she's hopeful that that project would be completed in 4 to 5 years. For now, reporting live in Orlando, Mark Lehman, getting results, News 6.
New this morning, popular rapper Kodak Black is out of jail after another arrest in Florida. The rapper, whose legal name is Bill Capri, was taken into custody yesterday in Broward County. Officers say they found him asleep in his car, obstructing traffic, and discovered alcohol and drugs inside the vehicle. He's facing multiple charges, including possession of cocaine, tampering with evidence, and violating probation.
Happening today, state officials looking to hire people from Central Florida for a wide range of jobs. Positions are available with the Highway Patrol, Fish and Wildlife, and the Department of Law Enforcement. Today's hiring event runs from 11 until 5 at the Florida State Fairgrounds, just east of Tampa. If you can't make it today, hiring continues tomorrow from 8 to 2.
Time now is 6:09. Turning back to your weather now. Candace is here, and we're talking about a big temperature change over the last 24 hours.
Yeah, talk about a swing. Yesterday, we were waking up to some frost in many spots, but right now we are running between 2 and 12 degrees warmer. I like this graphic because sometimes people forget how cold was it yesterday and what did I wear. This just makes it easy. You can shed off a layer. That's the first thing I can tell you as you're heading out the door. 57 degrees our current temperature in Orlando. We're at 50 in the Villages, 55 in Sanford. Even along the coastline, some areas are even flirting with the 60s, especially across southern Brevard County. Right now, Melbourne, for instance, is sitting at 58 degrees. So as we continue to warm things up, that's all thanks to a cold front that will be moving into Central Florida by this weekend. With that, it will come not only temperatures back into the 80s by this weekend, but also a blast of cold air as we head into your Monday. So along with the rain chances increasing for Sunday, so will our temperatures. We'll be up to about 82 degrees, even 81 by Saturday and Sunday. But then we're talking about a 20-degree drop into early next week. We'll have more in your forecast and, of course, a look at those rain chances coming up in just a few minutes. But now let's check on those roadways with meteorologist Michelle Morgan. She has your pinpoint traffic brought to you by Napleton Automotive. She is in for Trooper Steve this morning.
Thanks so much, Candace. Yeah, well, we're looking pretty good. I'm not seeing any major delays at the moment. In fact, not a whole lot of people out and about, so traffic is pretty light. If you are heading out on the 408 near Goldenrod, you shouldn't have any problems. Things are moving along pretty smoothly in that area. Now, in terms of the flow of traffic, all in the green at the moment if you are heading into the metro area along I-4, east and your westbound lanes looking fantastic, and your drive time's looking pretty good too. I-4 westbound from Lake Mary Boulevard, if you're heading out to Maitland, it'll take you about 7 minutes, and then the Turnpike southbound from 27 to 50, it's about an 8-minute drive.
Okay, Michelle, thank you. Time now is 6:11. Coming up, a new move in the fight over a proposed fuel farm.
What one local county is now doing in hopes of stopping the project. Plus,
that will make that 5 square root of 3 over 3, and then that would be the final answer.
Impressive. This student used her knowledge to achieve something most people in her class dream of. What she says is next after earning a perfect score on the ACT. But first,
seen some bodies flying. It was crazy.
a Christmas parade canceled after a truck hits a crowd of people. What we learned overnight about injuries and the driver now in custody.
Do you know the #1 website in Central Florida? It's clickorlando.com, powered by News 6. And now it's been named the best local TV news website in the U.S., all because of you.
You trusted News 6 to bring you every live stream, news update, and exclusive story. And now the entire country has noticed. When you want to know what's happening in Central Florida, turn to the best local news website in the country. Award-winning clickorlando.com.
Go to clickorlando.com and sign up to be an insider so I can bring you exclusive contests, stories, and behind-the-scenes footage.
Target Legos. It's a hot toy for the holidays, but this is ridiculous. Next, Inside Edition.
Today at 4:30 on News 6. Live with Bridget Ellison, Crystal Moyer. Weather with meteorologist Candace Campos and Central Florida's only traffic safety expert, Trooper Steve. This is News 6 Mornings, getting results.
New this morning, 3 people seriously hurt after police in California say a man drove into a crowd waiting to watch a Christmas parade. Officers in Bakersfield blocked off a large area last night as rescuers rushed to help the victims. All 3 are adults and are listed as stable at the hospital. Police arrested the 72-year-old driver, and organizers canceled the parade after the crash. Lawmakers in Washington have voted to censure a congressman for pulling a fire alarm at the U.S. Capitol. Yesterday's decision to punish Representative Jamal Bowman fell mostly along party lines. The New York Democrat pleaded guilty in October to a misdemeanor charge after forcing an evacuation of the Capitol. He claimed the incident was accidental while he was rushing to get to the House floor for a vote to fund the federal government.
Okay.
Don't mess with her on the test, and don't mess with her.
That's what I was going to say. She can kick butt in both, right?
Yes, she's got it all covered.
Yeah. It's so awesome. Congratulations to her.
Yes.
And it's only halfway through the year. I should say, I can't believe it's already halfway through the year.
Yeah.
Actually. It's just nuts.
Wow,
so
time
fast.
flies.
Yeah, I mean, kids are almost on Christmas break.
Yeah, just like 2 more weeks.
I know. All right, Port Canaveral right now, 67 degrees. Our Lunch Credit Union camera there showing a little bit of kind of that moisture in the air, that cloud cover overhead. Now, rain chances at this point are low. We are going to keep rain chances, though, a little higher today as we have more of a return off the ocean, more of an East Coast breeze. We'll pick up a couple scattered showers, bring them on shore. But for the most part, today and tomorrow, we're looking relatively dry. Can't completely say bone dry, but we are going to say mainly dry, as well as temperatures warming up. We're back into the upper 70s today, low 80s Saturday and Sunday, and that's all ahead of our next cold front that approaches the area by Sunday afternoon, bringing with it a good chance for some rain, even a few thunderstorms embedded within it. But once it clears, another blast for those 60-degree weather lovers. You're going to like Monday. We are going to be dropping about 20 degrees between Sunday and Monday. If you are heading out the door, we officially have one spot in the 40s at this moment in time. The Village, as you guys have just dropped to 49 degrees. We're at 57 in Orlando, 58 in Melbourne, and 50 degrees currently there in Palm Coast. Now let's check on your hour-by-hour forecast for today. As we get results here, the full 7-day forecast. Rain chances as of now for Sunday up to about a 50 to 60%, but drier and breezier starting Monday. Now let's check on those roadways with meteorologist Michelle Morgan. She is in for Trooper Steve and has your pinpoint traffic brought to you by Napleton Automotive.
Thanks so much, Candace. All righty, we are looking at a crash as you're heading on, heading down Altamont Drive. This is westbound at Palm Springs Drive. Right now, we are getting reports that the right lane is currently blocked and it is causing some slowdowns. But thankfully, we're not dealing with heavy traffic at the moment. It's still dark and early, so if you are headed that way, just allow extra time there. If you're heading into the metro area, everything is looking good. And as you take a live look outside, this is as you're heading near Maitland Boulevard here, looking pretty good. Not seeing any incidents in that area. And your drive times, everything in the green. I-4 westbound from Lake Mary Boulevard to Maitland. It'll take you about 7 minutes there. And then 417 northbound from 408 to Redbug Lake Road. It's about a 10-minute drive.
Thanks, Michelle. Come on, Willie, cue those holiday tunes. News 6 wants to make your Christmas a little brighter. We're giving a $750 holiday shopping spree to one lucky insider. You can enter as many times as you'd like for more chances to win through next Wednesday, December 13th. If you're not already an insider, it is free to sign up. Just head to clickorlando.com/insider. A local high school football team bringing home some hardware.
At the bottom of the hour, the dramatic finish to last night's state championship game.
But first, mortgage rates going down again, but it's not all good news for home buyers, though. Next, we'll break down the long-term trend, showing numbers remain high.
This portion of the news is sponsored by the Flooring Center. Check out exclusive News 6 Plus content. Watch News 6 weekdays at 3:30 for the News 6 Plus takeover.
Still to come, new steps toward improving a troubled part of one local city.
What's being done in hopes of making the compound safer.
Plus, the mom of an 11-year-old charged with attempted murder bonds out of jail. Why police say she's now facing charges of her own.
And a local family loses everything after fire destroys their home. How the community is coming together to get results for the holidays.
You're watching News 6 Mornings, getting results for all of Central Florida on air and around the clock on clickorlando.com.
You did more than get results. You have brought joy back in my life.
I hope that you can touch everybody like you touched me and my family.
Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results.
A mother arrested months after police say her 11-year-old shot 2 teammates at a football practice. The charges she's now facing and why prosecutors say it never should have happened.
Plus, new help in the works for a troubled part of Palm Bay. What leaders want to see happen to the compound after several recent crimes.
And celebrating a state title, the big win for Mainland High School on the football field and the other local team looking to win a championship of their own in just hours. Good morning, Central Florida. Thank you for staying with us on this Friday. I'm Julie Broughton in for Bridget.
I just got to say, go Tigers. Coco, hi, good luck. And I'm Crystal Moyer. We'll have those stories ahead, but we want to start with meteorologist Candace Campos and your pinpoint weather. And Candace, we've been talking about this roller coaster. Here we go with the temperatures.
Oh, yeah, it's certainly warmer outside compared to yesterday where we were dealing with frost. Remember that? Not the case today, as we are still pretty much all in the 50s. Feels like so long ago we were dealing with frost. 48 degrees, though. You guys in areas of in and around the villages, you're the coldest spot so far this morning, sitting at 48 degrees, but that's still running about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday. So as the kids head to the bus stop, I'd say offer them a jacket. You know, kids sometimes they'll still wear a jacket with the shorts. That's kind of the forecast for today, 55 degrees. But throughout the afternoon, we are warming up fast. It's going to be overall still a nice afternoon, a little more cloud cover, up to about 77 degrees. So here comes the roller coaster temperatures for all you coaster enthusiasts. 70 degrees will be your high for your Thursday. And we're even heading to the 80s for your weekend and then dropping about 20 degrees by early next week. We'll be pinpointing everything you need to know as we head into your all-important weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes. But now let's check on the roadways with meteorologist Michelle Morey, and she is in for Trooper Steve, who has your pinpoint traffic brought to you by Napleton Automotive. That is a mouthful.
It sure
Michelle.
is. That's why I don't say that. But yeah, alrighty, we're looking pretty good across the area. If you're heading I-4 east and your westbound lanes near Lee Road, everything is moving along pretty smoothly. Not a whole lot of people out and about, but seeing some slowdowns here if you are heading out that way, but nothing too major. Looking at a crash here, this is right along Altamont Drive as you're heading westbound at Palm Springs Road. It is causing some slowdowns there. You can see that yellow on your screen. Right now we are getting reports that the right lane is currently blocked due to that incident here. Heading downtown, you shouldn't have any issues. We're still in the green right now, which is great news. And here are your drive times. If you're heading I-4 westbound from Lake Mary Boulevard to Maitland, it'll take you about 7 minutes. Turnpike southbound from 27 to 50, about an 8-minute drive.
New this morning, a local Boy Scout leader is waking up in the Volusia County Jail, accused of molesting a 14-year-old girl. The sheriff's office pulled out this video showing them arresting 48-year-old Vidal Torres Jr. yesterday. Deputies say he's been under investigation since mid-November when the victim's family came forward. He later admitted to having sexual contact with the girl while being interviewed. Torres is an assistant scoutmaster in Daytona Beach. Deputies say the victim was a member of his troop, but that none of the incidents happened during scout-sanctioned events. He's being held without bond.
In Brevard County, we're waiting to learn the name of a 16-year-old killed in a shooting. The victim was found Wednesday night in the area of Xavier Drive and Marshall Avenue. The teen was rushed to the hospital but later died from his injuries. At this point, police aren't saying anything about possible suspects, only that they don't believe it was a random incident. They are asking anyone with information to come forward.
For the first time since January, SpaceX is hoping to launch its Falcon Heavy rocket from the Cape. And this one has some pretty important cargo on board. The rocket is set to take the military's X-37B spaceplane into orbit. It looks like a mini shuttle and spends months in space at a time. However, what it does is largely kept secret. The liftoff will mark the first time the spaceplane launches on a Falcon Heavy. Ooh. Right now, liftoff is set for Sunday night at 8:14. If it happens, we'll bring it to you live on air and on clickorlando.com.
Very cool. Well, there's going to be a lot of celebrating at Mainland High School today. The football team taking home a state title, and they did it in dramatic fashion.
Is this an avenging kick? He got it!
It was a close game. A last-second field goal put the Buccaneers on top in the Class 3S championship last night. They beat St. Augustine 21-19, earning the team their first title in 20 years. Congratulations. And tonight It's Cocoa High School's turn. They'll be taking on Bradford in the Class 2S game in Tallahassee. And yesterday, the school held a big pep rally to get everyone ready.
How excited are you as a mom?
I am excited. I am so excited. I'm about to ready to do a break dance out here.
Let's see it. Come on. There we go.
You do that pre-victory dance, Mama. I see you. Well, if Cocoa wins tonight, it'll be the Tigers' second state title in as many years.
Lots of local teams doing great things. All right, turning back to your weather now. Candace is here. We're talking about nice weather for those football games tonight and warm weather for the weekend.
Yeah, much warmer. We're back into the 80s, low 80s, especially as we head into your Saturday and Sunday. But then temperatures are going to drop once again on Monday. It's one of those, it's that time of the year where you just never know what you're going to wear every day. It all depends on these temperatures because they're fluctuating a lot in the next 4 days. So looking at our current temperatures right now, we are waking up much warmer than yesterday. We are currently at 49 degrees, which is our cool spot in the Villages, but we're also nearing 60 degrees in some spots. Like you guys in Melbourne, currently at the airport, reporting a temperature of 58 degrees, 53 in Daytona Beach. If you are planning on heading out to the theme parks for today, we are going to add a lot more cloud cover overhead. And with all that cloud cover and a little more moisture, there will be the chance of seeing a spotty shower or two moving in along our breeze. Temperatures, though, for this afternoon will be maxing out back into the upper 70s. But there is going to be a big shift in our weather pattern as a big ridge of high pressure pushes in. That jet stream will dig in, bringing with it another front that will be bumping up those rain chances on Sunday. We'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes. But now let's check on those roadways with meteorologist Michelle Morgan. She has your pinpoint traffic brought to you by Napleton Automotive.
Thanks so much, Candace. Right now, we're looking pretty good along our major highways this morning. If you're heading out I-4 near Maitland, currently there are no issues and traffic is pretty light. Beginning to see a little bit of light in the sky. Official sunrise is at 7:06, so we are almost there. Tracking a few minor crashes here, causing some slowdowns. Right lane blocked due to a crash as you're heading near Altamont or along Altamont Drive, westbound at Palm Springs Drive. As you can see there, a little bit of yellow on the map, so allow extra time. Right-hand shoulder blocked due to an incident as you're heading I-4 westbound. This is right near exit 104. So if you're heading out that way, again, allow extra time.
Thanks, Michelle. A deadly salmonella outbreak tied to a popular fruit continuing to grow.
Still ahead, the latest warning from health officials when it comes to cantaloupe as the recall expands around the world. But first,
we can buy new stuff, start over. We can't bring back a life.
A family left with nothing just weeks before Christmas. The big impact one local community is hoping to make after a devastating fire.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Freedom Health Medicare Advantage plans. When weather changes in an instant, trust the News 6 weather team to pinpoint all the threats putting your family at risk. Live with Bridget Ellison, Crystal Moyer. Weather with meteorologist Candace Campos and Central Florida's only traffic safety expert, Trooper Steve. This is News 6 Mornings, getting results.
The community is now rallying around a Brevard County family of 9 after a devastating fire forces them to start all over just before the holidays. The Wilsons were at Disney World when a fire broke out in their Canaveral Groves home over the weekend. Their pets, 3 dogs and a cat, didn't make it out, and everything inside turned to ash. The family says they're devastated from the loss.
I cried every day. Today I've kind of gotten my bearings a little bit. The fire department said if we'd have been here, we probably wouldn't have made it out.
People have stepped up to help the family. So far, they've received more than $7,000 to their GoFundMe account. If you'd like to help the Wilsons, we've put the link to their GoFundMe on this article at clickorlando.com. We tell you about Florida gators all of the time, but take a look at this beautiful, rare white one. This baby was born at Gatorland. She's a leucistic alligator, which means she has a complete lack of pigmentation, along with those bright blue eyes. She is absolutely gorgeous. The female gator is believed to be one of only 8 in the world, and I was just looking, and it looks like Gatorland does have a white gator swamp.
Oh, yeah.
So a couple more white gators there.
And she has the best home at Gatorland.
Oh my gosh. Gatorland.
Who would want to live there as a gator, right?
I know.
You get fed, you have visitors every day.
You get a name.
Yeah.
And they know their names. So if they call one over, if it's little, Spunky or whatever. Spunky comes.
Spunky?
I don't know. They have some really creative names. All right, let's talk about your weather forecast. All right, guys, get ready. The heat is on across Central Florida. Although it is a nice mild start, we do have a lot of cloud cover overhead that's been keeping us a bit on the warmer side this morning compared to yesterday, where we were battling with some fog across our frost across our far northern zones. We're currently sitting at 57 degrees, mostly cloudy skies right now in downtown Orlando. But yes, the sun is just about to rise there in about 20 minutes or so. Current temperatures out the door in the next few minutes. Most of us will be in the 50s throughout the morning and into the 60s and 70s this afternoon. We're at 49 currently in the Villages. You guys are our cool spot. We're close to the 40s in Palm Coast, sitting at 50 degrees, 55 in Seminole County, and we're at 57 from Orlando down through Kissimmee. But now let's check on your hour-by-hour forecast for your Friday. Big switch in those temperatures as we head into the early part of next week. But again, decent chance of rain on Sunday, so prepare and plan ahead. Now let's check on those roadways as we plan ahead to get out the door. Meteorologist Michelle Morgan, she is in for Trooper Steve and has her pinpoint traffic brought to you by Napleton Automotive.
Thanks so much, Candace. Looking pretty good here as you're heading I-4 west and eastbound. This is near Lake Mary. Starting to see more and more folks out and about, but thankfully there are no major slowdowns at the moment. There is an incident on I-4 westbound at exit 104. That's Monroe Road. The right-hand shoulder is currently blocked, so if you are headed out that way, just allow extra time. The flow of traffic, we are still in the green, so that's pretty good. Out in Lake County, looking pretty good. For the most part, we're in the green, but if you are coming or heading to Groveland, seeing some slowdowns due to increasing traffic, but overall traffic is looking pretty good.
Michelle, thanks. A local mother bonds out of jail hours after her arrest.
The charges she's facing tied to a shooting at a Pop Warner practice. Next, as we check our big stories.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Papa John's.
This week, it's almost that wonderful time of the year.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
And on the next Drew, Martha Stewart.
The Drew Barrymore Show, today at 9 on News 6.
6:54, let's check our big story, starting with Ezzy Castro, another arrest connected to a shooting at a football practice.
A mother is being charged with negligence after prosecutors say she left her gun in her car that her 11-year-old used to carry out a shooting. Now, investigators say the boy grabbed her gun during a Pop Warner practice in Apopka back in October, then shot two 13-year-old teammates he had been fighting with. Now, Sherelle Johnson was arrested just yesterday, with investigators saying she left the gun unsecured in a cardboard box. She did bond out of jail overnight, but her son still faces attempted murder charges. Crystal.
Ezzy, the man accused of trying to sexually assault a woman in her apartment near UCF, will stay in jail. A judge denied bond for Xavier Mendez yesterday, one day after his arrest.
President Biden's son Hunter has been indicted on 9 new federal charges. He's accused of not filing and paying taxes and committing fraud. That follows a separate indictment in September on gun charges. Mark.
New this morning, President Biden has announced another $8 billion for rail projects across the country, and Florida is set to get some of that money. Now, the White House says $1 million will be given to the state DOT for a couple of projects, including a new rail line between Orlando and Tampa. That's something Brightline is already exploring after launching its high-speed rail service from Miami earlier this year. Any new projects, though, would take years to complete. Candace?
And temperatures for today, warmer than yesterday. We're up to the upper 70s by 3 p.m. Rain chances are up a little bit, about 20%, but a better shot of rain ahead of our next front on Sunday. That could be bringing us a few isolated thunderstorms as well. But once that front clears, we're dropping about 20 degrees by early next week, as highs will be staying in the low 60s, which, by the way, is colder than what we're starting with this morning. Michelle.
Seeing some slowdowns here and there if you're heading on Highway 27 north or southbound near Champions Gate. Seeing a lot of red on the screen, so just make sure you're allowing extra time, and that is part of your commute.
All right, thanks for joining us. Remember, we break news on clickorlando.com.
You can also find all of our stories and podcasts on our News 6 Plus app for your TV.
CBS Mornings is next. Have a great day.
Happy Friday. Look at that.
We love our News 6 insiders. We appreciate that.
You become an insider and you win.